It's been a change of pace for fans to see Scott this way, literally getting his hands dirty.
Yeah.
What surprised you the most about joining his team and his leadership style?
I try not to have preconceived notions of people. I know, love or hate, people have a lot to say about the Kardashians. They've been lovely. Scott has been fantastic. I really have enjoyed this process, and I remember writing him an email just saying I'm really grateful for this process because he's sharing something with me that I think is really special. That being said, I think the thing that surprised me most about Scott was nothing to do with his leadership or as a team member. It was more as watching him as a dad. My mind was blown because of what you've seen or heard before. We may be working, cameras may be happening, but if his children, which happens all the time, come flying through the house, everything else shuts down while he focuses on them. And we have to hold. We can't work anymore until he's done doing what he needs to do with his children. So I think his priorities are really different, and he has really changed that. And so I think his kids are like the #1 priority, and then maybe Scott, and then his work and everything below that. So I think his priorities were definitely what surprised me, and as a mom, the minute I saw him act like that, I knew I had signed up for the right job, because I thought, okay, I can get down with this guy.
He is still the Lord, though.
Yes, he is the Lord. It took me a long time to say it. I know you could see.
Face.
Yeah, I mean, I still kind of like laugh about it because, I have one Lord, okay? But I will call him the Lord just to do it. But it's fun because he doesn't take himself so seriously. So that's why it's funny and it's fun. I just was like, please don't bring the cape and the cane back because I think it's too much. But I love that he embraces it, and he's super funny with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what insight into the Kardashian-Jenner business mindset as a business person yourself did you get throughout this journey, and how they've built this undeniably influential empire?
Yeah, I want to say that I don't know anything direct about how they have built their empire, but what I do recognize is that their work ethic is pretty incredible. You can't deny the work ethic. You can say whatever you want about a talent. It's an absolute, we were talking about this earlier, it's an absolute talent to be able to juggle all these different things. So I think mostly what I'm recognizing from the camp is work ethic, kindness, to really treat people, look them in the eye, be kind, and really just seize the moment, because everything is fleeting in life, everything. So whatever the moment that is presented to me right now, I need to seize that moment and do everything I can to exhaust it.
Yeah, and everyone that you've come in contact with from the families reflected that?
Yeah, I think they're all like that. I haven't met everybody, but I do. I just think that is the general, mindset of what we all know, and just grateful to be a part of something that, especially, Scott's the male in it, but just to be surrounded by females that work that hard, I think that's really inspiring.
Yeah, and you have an all-female team yourself.
I do, and that's by accident. We would definitely hire a man. That's not, but it just organically happens that it continues to be female hires that we have had, and it's so incredible. Even, shooting this show, just having my girls at the end of the day, when things were really difficult with the guys, to be able to go back to them, I felt like I had family in the same seat with me, and they would go to war for me. So it's a great community. I love all of our clients, just love all of our women, and so we're stronger together than we are separate. That's just the truth. WFord Interiors is not Willa Ford. It's a group of women that have created such an incredible company.
Let's just get into it and talk about the Miki situation. So the two of you don't often see eye to eye, but you were actually the one to step in and help resolve recent drama when he quit the team.
Yeah.
Why did it have to be you, and how difficult was it to put any personal issues aside for the sake of the project?
I think if you're going from a personal aspect and you start taking things personal in business, it would have been very hard for me to go to Miki and say the things I said, but I recognize that we come from different backgrounds. He is Israeli. He served in the Israeli army. There's a lot of fantastic things about Miki, but there's also a lot of things that don't exactly come across well for an American woman. So I think, when the guys said that they needed to go back and get him, I knew that they don't take it as seriously. But I really knew Miki had quit. And this was not for the show. This was real. He was really done with us. And so I felt...
Not just the project, but done with the team.
Yeah, really kind of done with the team at that point. And for me, the main priority was finishing my project, correct? So what were my options? My options were to continue to be a jerk to him, you know, and say, forget it, we'll find another contractor. But I knew the delay that would create, which would also cost money. And I also knew that deep down, I do know Miki off camera too, and I know that he's not a bad guy. And so I just needed to figure out how to approach the situation in a way that was very business, right? I tried to take all personal out of it and say, Miki, we need you for what you're good at. And the guys went to him as a friend and said, we love you, come back. But that wasn't what he needed to hear. He needed to hear, you're good at your job, can you please come back so I can finish mine? And so it was, yeah, there was a lot of conversations with my team. Should I even do this? Could this blow up? Would this not go well? But it was very well received, as you could see. He just needed to hear that I respected him, even though we weren't getting along, and I needed him, and it helped.
And has that changed your relationship going forward?
Yes, you're going to see, like, you're going to see a big difference by the end of the show. I mean, it's really interesting because we've obviously shot the show, and I'm watching people's comments on Miki, and they just despise him. But I keep telling people, please keep watching, because I think what's really incredible about our show is that on a small scale, we're showing what happens when people extend an olive branch and understand that we may culturally be different, but how do we find the common denominator and talk and like become real people, right? So rather than throw stones at him, I chose to come with kindness, and I want that to be a lesson for people. But just watch Miki, because I promise you by the end of this, you're not going to feel the way you currently do.
So where do things stand when the show comes back, especially with the Jed Smith house? Is Scott going to pull this off?
I can't tell you, but I can promise you that I'm not one to fail. Yeah, you really have to watch what transpires and what we end up having to do and not do. So yeah, I would say stay tuned for it. But I really enjoy the show, not just because I'm a part of it, but I do believe we are telling the true story of what it looks like to flip a house of this scale. This is not a one episode, we finished this house, we came under budget. None of that
All
happens.
these unexpected obstacles that you think you're prepared for.
Correct. And I think it's really important for the normal person to see that, you know, all these things can go wrong. So it's not like, but on the TV show they said that this would be like this X, Y, and Z, and now here I am, and I'm literally in debt, and I haven't finished the project. So I'm excited to show people, hey, this is the real deal.
Yeah. So from your expert perspective,
Yeah.
was Scott out of line bulldozing that basketball court?
I understand that he wanted to get rid of it, but in his process, he thought, because they did say that we were approved, it was a communication. He thought approval meant inside, outside, all was approved. Miki knew that was not the case, and I didn't even know exactly what the permits, where we were at with it. So when he had mentioned he was going to do that, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought he's trying to get Miki going. I actually walked in when that was happening. So I hid in a garage.
When Miki's chasing him on the bulldozer?
This has all really happened. No, the guy in the bushes, the HOA, this was a real, I mean, this wasn't made up. And I remember walking in and I thought, we're never gonna finish this show. Because I knew once that was an issue that they would shut us down. And they did. They shut us down for quite some time. And we had to stop shooting until we could pull back up. Yeah,
wow.
It was a real deal.
If you love that video, you're going to love everything on the Access YouTube channel. So hit the subscribe button. You can thank me later. Hit it. Now.